Alright. So I'm just going to go through the two chapter reviews. This is the key ideas as well as the chapter summary. The first lesson we went over, I think this was before we went into lockdown, was we were talking about types of data. And yep, types of data, of data. And this should be at the start of your notes. And if you don't have it, then I don't know what you're doing in my class, because unless you're aware, of course. But we did run through this, and we did it in I think V3. Now there's two major types of data. There's categorical and numerical. Okay. Now, as the words say, numerical generally deals with numbers and categorical deals with categories. However, you still need to be very clear the difference, because, for example, you should have in your book the type of data for postcode. Postcode has numbers, but that is still considered a category. In terms of category as well as numerical, they get split into two subcategories. Categorical, we've got ordinal as well as nominal. Now, I'm going to stress this. You don't need to remember these off by heart. They should be in your book. If it's not in your book, then I'd like you to spend some time later on putting it in your book. Numerical, you've got continuous as well as discrete. Moving on from that, the ordinal type data is data that can be put in order. Data put in order. So what I mean by that is, let's say, example, customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction. Satisfaction would be a type of ordinal data, because you can have low, medium, high. Low, medium, high. Okay? Or you can have 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars. Okay? I know in the textbook, I think there was an example, favorite, I don't know, footy team. Okay, and I do recall the textbook saying that that is nominal. That will be incorrect. A favorite footy team will be ordinal, because you have your favorite. You will be putting it from your most favorite to your least favorite. So the word ordinal has the word order in it. So nominal, which has the word no, just means data that has no order. Okay. So for example, we've got color, gender, things like that, where they are in groups, but we can't put them in order. Then we've got continuous for numerical. Now continuous, I normally go data that can be measured. Measured. So we've got example, height, weight, time. Okay, so time in seconds, time in minutes, things that you measure. Because technically year can go here. Okay, when I'm talking about year, I'm talking about like the year 2021 or the year 2020. That's in order, and that's in a category as well. Then we move on to discrete. So that one is data that is counted. Data that is counted. Okay. Now most of you should have all this. It's a highly recommended idea that you add as many examples as you can. So if you go to exercise 2A, I think exercise 2A is about classifying the different types of data. So it might be a good idea, if you see any that you don't like or is a bit confusing, it's probably a good idea to put those into your notes as well. The more examples you have, the better it is. So data that can be counted will be number of students or number of cars, things like that. So that was classifying data. What else was there? There's a frequency table. Now, frequency table, you need to remember how to work out percentages. Okay, so I'm going to go through that instead. So in terms of percentages, let's say you got 44 out of 55 for a test. 44 out of 55, and you want to change it to a percentage. To get that, you take the number you got, so number required, let's say, divided by the total amount times 100. Okay, please make this part clear. It is times 100 at the end. Okay, I get some of you, and I've seen you do it. Okay, it does work sometimes, but it doesn't always work. So I do prefer that you make sure you do it this way. The number required, or the number that you need, divided by the total amount times 100. So it would look like this: 44 over 55 times 100. Okay. For some reason, people, and I see some of you do it. I'll do it in red so you don't, do it. What some of you do is that you remember that a percentage is out of 100, so you go 44 out over 100 times 55. Okay, this is no, don't do that. Okay, I've seen some of you do it. You remember percentage is out of 100, and you remember the 100 part, so you do 44 over 100 times 55. Don't do that. Okay, that will give you a wrong answer. Okay, what you do need to do is the number required divided by the total 100, then you times 100 afterwards. Okay, it's in your notes. Please don't guess how to do it. What's next? Mode is pretty easy. Mode is the mode, as in the most occurring, I mean. The word modal interval, okay, it's funny enough. The word modal interval is also just a mode. It's just the interval that has the highest frequency. So, mode equals to modal interval. For some reason, a lot of students can't seem to click that modal, and mode is very similar. Remember to have all your CAS instructions, okay, especially on how to do it. Let's just do the mean, median, standard deviation. Now, standard deviation is SX. Okay, please keep that in mind. We want SX, not the other one. And then we got the 5-number summary. Now, depending on the book, this one calls it a 5-number summary. Nope, it doesn't have it there. But the 5-number summary is used to draw the box plot. Sometimes it's just called a 5-figure summary as well. Alright, so the mode is the most occurring. You cannot get that on the calculator. Okay, it's too easy, so the calculator won't do it. But the mean, the median, the standard deviation, and the 5-figure summary, you can do it. Now this should be in your books. Okay, most important, if you can't do this, I will instantly fail you. Lists and spreadsheets, the green one, you give it a title. Okay. So, going down here, it was lists and spreadsheets. Title, okay, and then enter numbers. It doesn't have to be in order, so I'll just make up some numbers. Okay. Oh, a side note, if you want to put things in order, hopefully you remember that you just push the up button until it highlights the whole column, then it was menu, action, sort, and then OK. So for the side note, putting numbers in order, use the sort function. Okay, as I described here. And just hit OK and it'll put it in order. Now, the rest of to work at the mean, the median is menu, statistics, so menu, stats, okay, stat calc, and one variable statistics. Okay, number of this, we're only dealing with one, so hit OK. The X list, you need to select what you've called it, so what you do is you move your cursor. What the? Stop. try again, menu, stat, calc, one variable, one list. Just click the right arrow and select it. Sometimes it is A, but it's good to select it anyway. See how it slightly changes. So you click the arrow, click the A, and hit OK. And as you can see, X with a little bar on top is the mean. Just remember that. The median is, if you scroll down a bit there, which is median, which is just the median. The standard deviation, if it was up here, which is the SX. And then the 5-figure summary. The 5-figure summary consists of 5 numbers. It is the median, the minimum, the Q1, your median, your Q3, and your maximum. Okay, so the 5-figure summary is your minimum number, is your Q1, your median, your Q3, and then your maximum number. And you use that to draw a box plot as well. Please make sure you have a ruler or something straight ready, because you'll most likely be drawing some kind of graph for me. What else? So remember how to remind yourself how to draw all the different types of graphs. Histogram has no gaps. A bar chart has gaps. And stem and leaf plot, remember you need a key. So stem and leaf plot looks like this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 0, 4, 3, 4, 1. And then remember that you need the key. So 1/2 is the number 12. Histogram, no gaps, so it looks like this. Remember to put in your title, so frequency, and then I don't know what this could be. This could be height. Now, also please remember, if you're copying off the CAS calculator, don't draw that double line. Okay, if you remember, the double line is the edge of the screen. Edge of the screen, you don't need to draw that. Especially when you're copying off the CAS calculator. Make sure you've got even intervals, so that's 50, 55, 60, 65, 70 for example. Or when you're doing the box plot or a dot plot, make sure that your horizontal line is ruled with something straight, and then do your best to make everything even, so 50, 55, 60, 65. See, that's not too bad, but if you do something like that, then I'm going to really mark it wrong. So do your best to keep things as evenly spaced as you can. And then this was an example of the box plot. Then you've got, and then remember the title as well. So this one could be currency. And then your bar chart, which is categorical, has gaps between the bars. And then the titles go in between the bars, so dog, cat, mouse, and frequency on the axis, and animal here. Yes, I know we've already labeled the individual bars, but you need to label the general thing, which will be animals, and frequency up there. Most of this is fine. Alright, I'll give you the remaining time to work on some of the questions and to go over this chapter review section. Going through this is a good idea, so you can just tick off everything and make sure it's in your book. Once you've done that, you can start doing the questions. There seems to be a skill check here as well, so you can tick all those off as well. Once you've done that, you can start all the questions. We do have a second revision lesson, which is on Thursday. And then once again, the Friday is the SAC. Make sure your phone is charged, your CAS calculator is charged, and you have paper as well as a ruler or something straight to work on. And that's it. Thank you.